After 1 week with One UI 7, is this the future we really wanted? Or is this just the one Samsung thought we did? Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. After a week with One UI 7, we know it a little bit better now. I know it's only in beta, so you can't fully judge the operating system based off that. So I'm not really going to go into the nooks and crannies of any bugs or anything that I've found, because realistically, that's not what we should be doing here. There's plenty of opportunity to feed that back into Samsung. What you want to know is this the software that we've been waiting for, or is it the software that still needs a bit of work? Let's go through and break that down. I want to start with, I guess, the thing that greets you, the lock screen and always on display. Living with this for a week has actually been a lot of fun. I would say that Samsung have given some really great options to customize the lock screen now, just straight away. Like, I know the default one you could do a lot with last year with One UI 6, but with One UI 7, there's just a lot more options. So if I go into editing the lock screen here, there's just a lot more that you can do. Down the bottom immediately, you can see some more. Last year there was frame and effect. That was it. You now have suggest, gallery, frame and effect. I really like the suggest option because basically you press that and it will literally just suggest stuff for you. And then you just have to apply it. And if you want, you can hit suggest again and away you go. That's really neat. And I think that kind of gives you, if you're not sure about how you want to organize it, a way to be able to figure that out. I've already done it. I've found my way. It suggested this one to me a while ago. But what I like too is the fact that there's new widgets now. So you can see a whole host list of more. When I go into One UI 6 and this one here, if I long press when the screen is like that and go to edit, you can see the widget list when I press on it is nowhere near as comprehensive. There's so much more that you can do now. Like, there's an expert raw widget, there's a gallery widget, which is the one I've got there. I really like the gallery widget that Samsung have got because you can select images and stories and then it'll just rotate through the photos in those stories. Love that. There's like a battery one, which I've put in, or you can put in Samsung Health, like your daily activity. This widget area is full, but if I remove that and chuck that in, what a great overview of your activity for the day. And there's heaps more in there as well, which expert raw even, like just being able to go straight into a custom expert raw straight from the lock screen. That's awesome. So I've really loved that change. I don't really tinker with the clock. I kind of find what I like and that's it. So I've already been loving that. That's been really good. And I think what that has given me too is, in my opinion, the best always on display on a smartphone today, because of the fact it removes that background and contrasts the other elements. Really enjoy it. It's really nice to look at, especially with the now bar too, which is what I'm going to get onto now. I really love the fact that you can control it from this area. Previously, the area up here where the media player used to be, a little bit cumbersome to reach one-handed. I love the fact that now this is a one-handed thing. And the fact that Samsung have put some stock into the animations, like being able to then make this the always on display as well. So fun. And then tapping that back in, you can see the beta, this is what I'm talking about, it goes back into it, and it's just a lot of fun to interact with. Now, I've already shown off everything you can do with the now bar in another video, but I've been using it a lot for the music player because I think that for me has become the real easiest way to launch and control your music. Second to that is probably the quick panel, which is where we're going next. The quick panel, this has taken a lot more getting used to than I would like. I'm so used to, especially for things like brightness and toggles, swiping down and having access to them there. I've intentionally not put on the together setting for the quick panel and notification panel because I want to try this way. It's been difficult to get used to. When I swipe down once and it's not there, I then have to remember, swipe again, and then the quick panel with the toggles are there. Especially as well as I control the TV behind me. There's an air conditioner just behind the camera. I control that with this. And the SmartThings toggle is always, and I mean always, right there, device control. So as much as I think this is a nice clean look, it's taken some muscle memory to remember that I have to go to this one. What I have liked though, I can customize this. So if I want to make this down the bottom, because it suits my one-handed usage a bit better, I can. If I want to put this up there, great, because then what I have here is my quick panel toggles easily to reach, and I have my smart things and smart view toggles even easier to reach as well. I do like the fact that there's a sound slider here, volume slider. That's a nice touch to add that in, but I haven't yet gone back to the panel settings to revert it back to together. I just think I need to give it more time. 1 week in, the muscle memory is starting to get there, but it's still an adjustment. In terms of its look, I do think with the S24 Ultra, Samsung need to change the software back to be squarish, because this is a square phone. It doesn't make sense to me to have the round and the square next to each other. I get that in some walks of life that can be done. I live in a very angular house and I have a round dining table in front of me. So it's not like it's not something that happens. The contrast sometimes looks good, but I do think it's very visually striking and might put some people out of place. As far as notifications go, I don't think I like it either. I think it's too big. And even if you got the together one on with the toggles at the top, I think these are massive. Samsung need to tone this down. Like, they're too in your face. And then when you build up a whole list of them, it just goes on. And then the interaction becomes a little bit difficult, especially for things like swiping down. Some of them don't do it. Or if there's stacks of them, you have to be really careful with how you swipe and interact. There needs to be some refinement here, because as is, I don't think it can be something people will enjoy using, even if you'd make them together. What I have enjoyed with notifications though is the options for notifications to be displayed on the lock screen. I like that Samsung have got these new little, I guess, more minimal style options. The dot, which will appear literally as a dot next to your cellular name. And then you've got icons, which you'll see them on always on display sometimes, but you can see there, right? There's your notifications and they sort of just appear in the corner there. I like that. I think that's kind of nice and looks clean. Removes the clutter from the lock screen. And you do have cards, but the problem I find with cards is it literally makes it look like the notifications. So I think I like this icons one, which is cool. Now onto the camera. This has probably been, I would say, outside of the lock screen, my favorite update so far. Samsung have really put stock into this design. It's very one-handed, all of it. The fact that the modes are down the bottom, easy to swipe between. The fact that you've got the option here with the menu, that's one-handed. It's no longer having to reach up to the top. It's just so clean. And I like as well that the More tab, when you swipe across to it, everything is down the bottom. So many times when I switch to the More tab, I am trying to sort of navigate my way to a mode that's at the top. But having them all down the bottom here just means you're going to access things like Pro mode and slow motion, Expert RAW in particular, way easier. Expert RAW's got a new update too. I have to dive into that in a future video. It's the same as, which is nice. Let's see if there's anything in the settings. While we're here, why not? Expert RAW Labs, that's all the same. From here, it looks as is. The only thing I can notice is that in this menu here, you've got a RAW and JPEG toggle, which I think is nice. And you've got your resolution options. And that's about it. On with the review. In terms of the output of the camera, I haven't noticed anything different. I have done a little bit of a side-by-side with One UI 6.1, S24 Ultra, and One UI 7. And I don't think Samsung have changed the algorithm much. If they have, it's been very subtle, or it's just within margin of error. So I haven't really been able to find too much of a difference. Function-wise, using them, absolutely different. Just being able to control it a lot easier. You feel less likely to drop your phone and more in control of controlling it, if that makes sense. Just because of the fact that it's way easier to access everything. In terms of what I found in terms of settings, there's really nothing that's drastic in terms of changing the experience. There's a couple that look different aesthetically. like the, where is it here? It's not Show Suggestions. It's the other one that goes with it, with Grid Composition Guide. Grid lines used to be a separate toggle. Now it's just become part of the leveling feature as well. And you can change how that looks. Outside of that, the only other one was this audio playback, which the only time I just, to be honest, would leave that on, because whenever you're at a party and if you're playing the music and recording video, you don't want the music to stop. You don't want to be that guy. So just leave that on in the toggles, but it's something you won't notice too much. Outside of that, the camera's as is, really. I think Samsung have put a lot of effort into reshaping the experience. And hopefully with the next version of One UI 7.1, whenever the S25 series comes out, we'll see some more modes and sort of algorithm refinements that then hopefully make their way down to this as well. And the last part of the review is just to do with the overall fluidity of One UI 7. I think what we've seen though is that Samsung haven't put the leaked animations that Ice Universe sort of have been speaking about in here. This very much still is the same animations as what we've already had before. Short of a few extra things like the task changer, which looks a lot cleaner. Basically, Good Lock has just come into play here, so props to the Good Lock team for making this a reality. But the actual animations that existed before are pretty much the same. You just get a fresh coat of paint on some of them. You get the live activities, which have that little fluidity movement. You've got some new widgets, which again is an aesthetic thing. So the animations and performance, nothing really to report yet on my 1 week in. That's been 1 week with One UI 7. Love to know what your thoughts are, what you're looking forward to seeing more of as the betas sort of improve, and then once the final version drops, which features are you keen to try out for yourself? Hit subscribe to SamMobile TV, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.